What I meant to say, not 20 years old. You don't have to be 20 years. Like I say, I know people that keep going on and on and on because they don't change. They're stuck in those days when they were hellraisers or, stuck. What I meant was they stuck. Like we hear a lot of people talk about. People, people who, I don't agree with this, but narcissistic people, that they're stuck at a certain age. Some people say 2. They try to get that to be the thing. No, I always saw it's like a rebellious teenager. Not the regular teenager, but a rebellious teenager. That's not universal, by the way. Teenage angst and stuff like that. Not universal. It's some. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. But they're stuck in this thing of that it's them against the world, and they're gonna change the world by their behaviors. No. There is actually, I don't even remember the term for it, for people who think that they are so important and so influential that they will change the world. They won't. They're probably only, heard of by the people around them. But anyway, I was supposed to go into this story here. But yeah, I really feel a much stronger need, because this shady stuff that I think is going on now is, I think that Adam's having some problems, since all this has been going on, like I said, and his memory is not that great. I worked with people who, had dementia. Both my grandparents did on my mother's side. Okay, guys, stop looking at me. Just because I have a piece, doing both, and I was doing 2, and I'm talking to myself. Anyway, but I think he's a police officer or something. He's still staring at me. Stop staring at me, dude. He's in his car. Anyway, and yeah, that's not the way to drive out, dude. But anyway, all this stuff is going on. His memory isn't that great. I'm worried about him. I am getting worried about him. I've seen it. My mother, her parents, and I worked with people in memory care. And I got a certification, all this stuff, and so on and so forth. And I'm a bit worried about him, and I think his family, his sister, is trying to take advantage of it. Yeah, because the one that's coming that he told me about yesterday or day before, whenever it was, my memory, yeah, too. There's so much going on. I mean, unbelievable. And I think it was it. Because I'd be worried about my memory now. But seriously, this sketchy stuff. So anyway, the way he put it, that she put it, I had already said this about his vacation, and then the way that niece of his, older, she's like 40 or something, but the way she put it was, well, I can only do it this month, September, because he said, well, I can't until October, but she said, well, I can only do it this month. Ooh, she's coming from Canada. I didn't know that it was that easy for people to come from Canada. I said, well, doesn't she have to get go through all this and that and the other? I didn't know, and he acted like I was supposed to know this. Why would I know? Like I said, my favorite thing these days is, why would I know that? Along that line, why would I know that? Okay, really? Why would I know it? Why would I know it was that easy? And anyway, so she's going to fly here soon. She only has 5 days, and she needs to hurry. So the way her tone was toward him, what is she here to do? And I'd ask him, I said, well, what is she here to do, before that? And he said, she just wants to see her sister. I would say that's the biggest lie on the planet right now. The biggest lie, not on the planet, but in their family going on, because really, she's going to fly over here, spend that money, come over here, and just to see her sister. I would say, I'm calling BS, Seriously. That's BS. So she's up here, she's going to come here to do something. And she's leaving her daughter there with her parents, their parents. Their parents left that home, the brother, and came over there to visit and take care of the daughter. Yeah, it's all kind of sketchy. Yeah. Sketchy against the world. They can do everything the way they want to do it. Lazy. But I'm finding all this hard to believe. I really am. I've been so angry. Not angry, like I said. Just the audacity of all of them. The nerve. It's the easiest way to put it, too. The nerve. Okay, you are too close to me. God, what the crap? But I am not out of my mind. The line is right there. So why were you so close to me? But anyway, I mean, and I think that they're going to try to do something to where, like, he is going to sign over, you know, whatever he has. And I really think that that's what they're doing. You know, sign it over to them. You know, I live in Texas. This is a community property state. But there's more to that. Yeah. And I was going to go in there. And I don't know if I want to disclose all of that, but they're trying to get something from him that's money, somehow, some way. And I think it's making him extremely angry. And they're doing, you know, because who says that? You're inviting yourself over to our home, not asking. I don't want to even talk to him. It's not my circus, not my monkeys with this stuff. It's got me so perturbed. Like I said, I'm going to look that up. But really, not asking. And I had also mentioned that he yelled out some stuff like the night before. That's, you know, all the stuff, or 2 nights before. And I have been so upset with him because he yelled out some lies. And it goes along with what they're saying. You know, what I think they're trying to do. And I actually have asked him, I said, do you ever listen to yourself anymore? Do you listen to yourself? And he's got this blank look on his face. Seriously. Like, I think he's really overwhelmed by them. What they're doing to him. Well, you know, his sister and her, because she has always been the problem, you know. And I did a video about when I came home the other day. I'm losing my voice. When I came home one day, and they were yelling on the phone and everything, and I finally asked him about that because he was kind of like worried about me that I was not going to speak to him anymore because I wasn't speaking to him. I was so upset hearing him say what I heard him say. And he was like, well, what's wrong? He said, I really, you know, he was following me around. I really don't know what I did. That's unusual. That's when he knows I am totally ticked off. And when I stop talking, I know some people say that, you know, that the people who are narcissistic do this thing of, what is it actually called now? Now you're really going to be worried about my memory. I've just had too much lately. I really have. And, you know, the silent treatment. No, my experience in life is when people get to the point they are just, they can't speak. I've only had that happen one time before. And I've known him over 40 years. I could not speak to him. I was just that tired of stuff. And that's when we were young. Okay? And I think it probably was something to do with his family, you know. But now, when I heard him doing that, he came up and said that when he finally, you know, decided he was going to say what happened, he was saying that she and his sister, he was talking to his sister on something like Skype, and her daughter, the one that's staying with us, one of her daughters, came and sat next to him and started yelling at her mother while he was talking to her. Sorry, my voice was like about at its end. Anyway, oh, now it's louder and it sounds so weird. Oh my goodness. We're having high pollen bees. Remember the bee? Oh, we've had very high pollen since last year, and this is September. My goodness. But, anyway, where was I on this? It's so overwhelming. It's really a lot, but I wasn't speaking to him. So my experience with that is when that person who is rather abusive, or their situation is abusive, or they did something that was wrong and they don't want to think that what they did was wrong. You know, the other person is just that because I'm fed up with him and his family. I'm fed up with Adam having a problem because it's his problem. He needs to resolve it with his family. Whatever they're doing that they're pushing him or trying to get him to do, he doesn't want to do it. He can't stop, whatever, because I've been through this before with them, and I was right. I was right about what they were up to. They're up to no good, ever. And he's been feeling pushed and pulled by them. Why, and he has this problem with his memory. And just a few years ago, he did something that he did wrong. And he doesn't want me to find out, because I'm going to say, hey, why did you do that? Why on earth would you do such a thing? And it was, something financial, and I'm like, he was too trusting. And then he was recently bragging about it. I'm like, oh God. See, that kind of memory issue. I don't really, dementia is more about like the right then kind of thing. More, not totally, but it's more about the short-term memory than the long-term memory. I could go on and on. That's not all that there is to it, but I don't consider myself a voice of authority, but a little bit. Yeah, I'm not naive to a lot of it. Naive is not the right word, but anyway, I know a little bit about some of it, not in comparison to some people. But anyway, I'm worried about him going through this and just, the all. He really doesn't like to get involved in anything. So they're pushing him. He doesn't want to get involved with other people. He's a hermit, homebody. He doesn't want to have conversations. He's busy with work. He's doing this and that. He's still working, although he, hopefully will retire soon. I've been saying that for like 10 years. But, no, he's not that old. But anyway, he was going to early retire. So, I'm overwhelmed by just knowing how they are. But, how is it for him? But I'm just trying to stay out of it, because they love to make me or anybody the scapegoat, because they're not going to deal with their problems within. And that's why I say, not my circus, not my monkeys, because I know they're probably doing it behind my back anyway. That's because they did. That's something I found out. They did for many years, for decades. But what I was told all the time was something different. Yeah. It's just so much to this. I start stuff and I don't finish, and that's my usual, though. Because I have so much in my mind that I just want to get it out. You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on with this. But I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I'm the one that really, over 40 years ago, we got married over 40 years ago. And I am not going to protect him from when they start this crap. And I do know that, from what I recall, anybody who tries to do anything legal with somebody who, is showing symptoms of dementia even, but I could be wrong. Don't take it as a voice of authority. I could be wrong. Things change so quickly as it is. But that's what I remember. Like I mentioned, it's not only his family that's sketchy. Does things the wrong way. Okay, there's some kids coming up. You're a kid. Real close. Anyway. Oh my goodness. But I just feel the need to, like I said, I actually started, back, I had my first computer in 1982. And by the time I was 28, I think, I was one of those who was talking about dysfunctional families talking about, family. Back then there were different terminology than you'll find today about, and I'm not really talking about, it wasn't, I don't remember, but just the dysfunctional families, in-laws, all that. In-laws are not just the parents-in-law. But, and I felt, I was studying to become a counselor, okay? But I was a career student over 20 years. And a lot of what I was studying was about this stuff, and I wanted to be able to, help and people feeling comfortable of talking about their problems with, family, not having to feel like they're all alone. Back then, social media was very different, and a person could get online, y'all are going to hit one another. My goodness. But get online and talk about their problems. Nobody was playing like they were the counselor, the therapist, or the psychiatrist, whatever. They didn't have these, actually in 1980s or 1990s, there was these people, anyway. But, yeah, that's quite illegal, but claiming they're this, and when they're not, you can't claim it. You have to go to the proper, people doing sketchy stuff. Anyway, as far as, mental health, no, you have to go through the right way. But anyway, back then, and I was the one that would talk about these problems. I remember there was an Oprah Winfrey special, and I think it was when I was 28, somewhere around there. And one of my sisters had come and visited, and we were watching it, and it was bad. Yeah. Anyway, my goal was to, people to feel comfortable. My own. I mean, I know I'm not going to save the world, change everybody, but at least there's somebody on one, because it wasn't anything like it is today. It was more of a, in that area in Texas, where I was living, people, because we were doing things, and I think one was Telnet, but I think the other one was called Procom, and then Procom 2. That was linking our computers together through that service, and way back, and back then, I don't think anybody even knew about World Wide Web, the WWW. It was before that. I was one of the pioneer women, starting off social media. So having somebody that is willing to talk about that, I did not have a problem. I mean, you wouldn't believe some stuff I had to teach at college and university. Wow. I still don't have much of a filter on that. But, yeah, and it needed to be, so everything wasn't hidden. But I am also one of those who still hides stuff. Not to lie through omission, but just that still, I was one of those raised to believe, you don't air your dirty laundry in public. And I recently said in a video, I think what I air is more like the dirty socks. I just thought, okay, I know I'm weird, but the rest of the stuff, no. It's still stuck in me. And even though I know I'm one that's, one of the ones that were trying to open the doors for people to feel, but not to, hurt themselves. There's a thing some people do. I've been so shocked that some people will give their address. I made a mistake one time. Yeah. One. All these years. One big one. But luckily nothing come from that one. There were others that could have. I didn't do it. But anyway, I was seeing that in my mirror. There it is. Something similar. Anyway. So this is nothing new to me. But at the same time, I just think it's just something that I have to get over that point. I'm losing my voice again. But over this step, all these years later, I'm 61. Okay, because as I've always said, I think not always, but since many years ago. This is my pressure release valve. Because some of the craziest stuff happens to me. You know? Seriously. This is nothing. This is really, in comparison, nothing. Just the crazy stuff. I could, like one of my sisters said, you can just be sitting there innocently and she actually knew that it happened. And something happened to you. She's the one that said jinx life. I don't believe in that stuff, you know. I'm more down to earth. And, but yeah, I've said it every time I say that, I say maybe I should believe in it because some weird crap happens. And here, this is to me, this is weird, but I know it exists, that kind of thing. I know some people, they're all about them, and any way they can try to get money off of people. And like I said, it's not just his family. And they will do whatever it takes, you know, whatever it takes. And somebody that you would think that you should be, you know, I think he should be able to trust him, but no. But I could be wrong about all this too, you know? Right. Anyway, not right. I'll wrap this up. Talk to you on the video. Bye.